Shaw County Commissioners Court to order. Everyone please rise. I would ask that you all would join me in prayer, please. Father God, we come to you today after celebrating this glorious nation that you have given us, that was "In God We Trust" is our motto. And yet, Lord, we look across this land and we can only feel grief for the families in Highland Park, Illinois, and what suffered tragedy there and death and destruction. Lord, we ask that you bring us back to the basics that would bring us together as families and teach values and have us raised in right ways and not in the torment and danger that is there in today's society. Father, we can try, but we cannot do this without your blessing and your will. Father, we ask you to forgive us when we fall short and we sin. Father, look at those that serve one another and run into danger and sit away from it. Father, it's all these things we ask that you guide us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
You join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Take seats, please. However, at this time, I just want to say third time is charm. We'd like to ask Sheriff David Duke to come forward. Sheriff, I think it was a recount we did. Be sure you really had 40 years.
Yeah, I got wrinkles on it too.
Yeah. You know, you have, I've heard your story, and it's certainly one to be proud of, starting here as an 18-year-old jailer. I also got tickled at your remark that you had to get somebody else to go buy your bullets.
Texas law is kind of crazy. You can have a gun, but you had to buy, you just want to buy the bullets.
I'm going to bet you got some, though.
I did not ask another deputy sheriff I worked with because it's an alpha dog world and you don't do that. So I had to get my dad to do it and he doesn't respect it.
I can see you brought your dad.
45 as he introduced me to everybody. So.
Well, you certainly progressed from there. And what you brought in the time that you served as an employee in the county, and especially the leadership you brought to the sheriff's department, the effort you did, and a lot of people that will tell us, oh, great, y'all got the jail done, and I immediately tell them the sheriff organized a group and his leadership and bringing together the Citizens Academy. That's what carried that through on the first ballot it was on.
A lot of educating the public to understand that what the state of Texas requires you have to have. This is jail, not schools, hospitals, or fire stations, or police stations, or gas stations. You have to have a jail. That's just part of it.
That is it. And despite the lady, I remember one time in our budget said, we ought to start to close the jail. No, ma'am. We cannot do that. No. But I do want to present you this for 40 years of service from 1880 what to now?
Yeah.
Robert had you there. But at any rate, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you for
Somebody going to get a picture?
I've never had too many photographs.
Judge.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Judge, as long as this is taken to get this done, because everybody's scheduled, I'll just let you give him 41.
Yeah, we don't want to keep that too many more numbers.
No, yeah, we do.
It's been an honor, especially being able to work with different commissioners over the years. When I become sheriff and being able to change the sheriff's office from as I had explained to a lot of people, some other commissioners, that this isn't Mayberry anymore. You know, there's actually people that want to hurt people in our community and law enforcement. It's a dangerous job. We all have our stories. We can tell you about our PTSD and the issues that go on, but being able to have a safe and secure jail is just paramount to have, and that's the biggest liability as a commissioner. That's the jail's our biggest liability. I don't worry about the young deputy sheriffs, our NASCAR vehicles, and the guns and machine guns. It is their jail. Our jailhouse is the biggest liability.
Yes, sir.
So it's obviously on our forefront every day. But thank y'all for this.
Well, thank you.
I don't want to try to make 80. I'm not going to double this. I wouldn't be able to do this in the last 31 years without my wife. She's not standing behind me, but standing with me and putting up everything for me. That's a whole lot.
Yeah, we sympathize with her. Well, I appreciate it. All right. One other nice thing this morning, I'd like for Janet Kennedy to come forward, please. I was trying to let on this morning when I asked if you wanted to go to the third. I thought I'm not going to be presumptuous, but she knew this. Yeah. This is presented to Janet Kennedy, Wichita County Employee of the Month, June 2022, in appreciation of your outstanding performance, service, and dedication to Wichita County. And really, as soon as I saw you get on, I see that smiling face. We don't get to cross you often, but at any rate, anything you'd like to say?
I've enjoyed my time, and it's been wonderful, and I'm still here and working hard, and my family showed up.
Yes,
tonight,
great. Would
so-
you like to have them come up and we'll make a picture together, or you want to do that, or just get
James, yeah. James, you come up there too.
This is just a few of my family. I have many more. We have 4 children, 6 grandchildren,
And these
they're
are the
all
ones
married.
these are the ones that would claim you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, these are the ones that like me. We have a-
Okay, all ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Thank you.
Nancy, Nancy wants to get one.
Yeah.
Just hang on a minute. Let's get one.
right
Yeah,
here.
we need.
One more.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Janet is one of those people that it's a real pleasure to work with, and she always has a positive attitude. She's always calm. She's a calming effect on the office, and she's just somebody that you just love to have in every office. I wish everybody could have Janet Kennedy in their office.
Thanks. Okay, we're down the part for public comments. It is 10:08, and I will open the floor to anyone who wishes to speak at this time. To remind you that we allow 5 minutes. You just need to give your name when you start to speak.
Name is Roy Scott here. I'm here to talk about the new election manager. We got the same election system we had for years. Nothing's changed. Let me tell you about the May 7th election. One of the requirements that I have to have as an election judge, I was supposed to be trained. I didn't know this. It was never offered to me. And I never did the training. This is the training manual. It's 80 pages long. I never received it. On the evening that I was the election judge, I had a question about a procedure, and I asked to see the procedure to verify it. They never produced it. I asked it 2 days later. They never produced it. As things went on that night, I was asked to sign paperwork for receiving the thumb drives because I was going to be too busy to sign them later and people weren't going to be able to give them. So that was a break of chain of custody because somebody else received them and I did not. And that was a concern to the Secretary of State's lawyer that I never received the training because that is mandatory. Something needs to change. We aren't making a change by having this new election manager. Because it's the same thing that's been going on for years. We need change. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Might be good to get in the minutes of the meeting that Woody Williams, retired warrant officer and World War II hero, passed away last week at the age of 98. He was the last Congressional Medal of Honor winner in World War II.
Wow.
And the last surviving Medal of Honor winner of Iwo Jima. He was a regular here at Wichita Falls. I met him several times. Really a good guy. One of those guys you just like to be around. And devoted himself to the Marine Corps, and then when he retired from the Marine Corps, he devoted himself to Veterans Administration. So traveled all around the world, was still speaking in late 80s. Just a real dynamic speaker and just a good guy.
Judge, I'd like to mention Lori Bohannon's mother and father-in-law celebrated this past weekend their 70th wedding anniversary. And so most of y'all know Aubrey and Louise Bohannon, and very few do we ever get to recognize on 70 years of being married. So that was, Delbert and Orlean Catlin did the same thing just recently, and that's incredible to me, but I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, sir. Anyone else in the audience or on the phone wish to say anything? Okay. It is. Yes, sir. Sheriff.
We appreciate the county fire departments, the volunteer departments, and the reactive measures that they did last night. 4th of July, especially with our conditions, I've seen it triple times worse. But I think a lot of awareness of people with how hot it is and dry. I think a lot of people did heed not using their brains like they sometimes do. So the fire departments and the deputies that are on patrol, we did respond to several fires. Nothing major property damage, just maybe grass for field type situation. But the city of Wichita Falls, I know they ran their tails off that quite busy as well. It happens every once in a while. I think there's a Saturday night, it could be a little different scenario. A lot of people didn't have to go to work the next day, but I just want everybody to realize that in the county, outside of rural areas, outside of Wichita Falls, everybody's volunteer fire department, and sports fire departments and your rural fire departments, because that's that dominate, especially with gas prices and diesel up to $60 now, is very important to get those fire trucks to your emergencies. So I just want to make that addition to everybody.
Well, Commissioner Mahler and I were talking earlier how well that went. All right.
It's going to deteriorate this week severely.
Yes.
So be careful out there.
Anyone else? Okay. It is 10:13, and we will close public comment. Okay. I ask the court to take action on the consent agenda.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Thank you.
Second.
Any other comments on the consent agenda? Okay. All in favor, signify, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay. On general business is number one is receive an update on the property assessed clean energy PACE program from Lee McCormick of Lone Star PACE. Excuse me. I do not see him.
Was he calling in?
Mr. McCormick, are you on the phone? No response.
Nancy, do you have his cell number? Pass that down. Are you, okay, she found it. Okay. You're going to have to hold yourself back. The second item is really intriguing.
We do have several.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah.
Good.
Now. Let me text it to you so you can have it. Or can you take it down? Can you take it? Can you take the number down there? 940 664 8,000. And it's 8844.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead while he's doing that? Let's go ahead and,
Yeah, he's gonna call you right now.
oh, he is? Okay. Go on, mute your computers. I don't know who's going on. Thanks.
Judge, will those three, our old accounts from the comptroller had possession of, will they just be general fund deposits?
Yes.
Will we hear him beep in?
Sure, yeah. Mr. McCormick, are you on there yet?
He may need to reschedule, Rick, and Nancy, if he had his stuff together.
Didn't hear anybody beep in.
No, I didn't either.
He needs to get some things together.
I want to go ahead and take the open bids on toilet paper.
There we
Oh,
go.
there he is. Knew if we did that. Lee, are you there?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioner, Flumes,
All right. Why don't you go ahead and we'll ask you any questions we have.
I'm sorry, did you want me to do a quick presentation?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, wonderful. My apologies for not being there, Judge and Commissioners. I think I have 4th of July fog here. We had another Commissioners Court meeting that got canceled, and for some reason, I assume this will get canceled as well, or so if it's okay, we also kind of walk through the highlights of our fiscal year 2021 activity here. The nice thing is we added 3 jurisdictions in 2021 stateside and statewide. And as you know, our main goal is to provide training and outreach to our participating stakeholders, groups here, not only in Wichita County, but statewide. And we did complete 5 key-based projects last year compared to just 1 the year before. As you know, we work in partnership with the energy sector stakeholders, public officials, and policymakers to advance energy and water efficiency improvements as part of statewide PACE program. And our main goal we focus on for you and for everyone really is to administer existing and current PACE projects like the one in Wichita County, to kind of expand the reach and accessibility of PACE projects throughout the state of Texas. And the nice thing about doing that is, as we're working with developers and contractors, whether it's in Wichita County or Dallas County or Collin County, there's a lot of overlap. So even when we're not working specifically in Wichita County, we are working with people who theoretically can have projects in Wichita County in the future. I will say, you know, a couple of years ago when we started PACE and you talked to people about it at a conference or a meeting, most people had no clue what we were talking about. like the one that we did in Stark County, and also ways to implement more high efficiency electric and water improvements on the projects that they're doing. As you guys are aware, we did two projects last year in Wichita County. One of them was the Maverick and Teamwork. This was the energy and water saving upgrades to the project. And the impact was 29% energy savings for that facility, roughly 394,000 kilowatts per year, which is enough to power 28 Texas homes annually. And kind of converting that over to the things that actually we understand a little more. That's the equivalent to the carbon emissions that would be produced by 41 homes electricity for a year, or it'd be about the same amount of carbon saved as if you had planted 7,000 tree seedlings and let them grow for 10 years. So just kind of put it a little more in perspective. So, as you guys know, we really focus our education programs on the pace on the various stakeholders, including elected officials, commercial lenders, commercial property owners, and chambers of commerce and EDCs. And we had very good success last year with these targets for expanding pace and making it and they actually have a project that utilizes pace. Currently, we're up to 15 jurisdictions here in Texas. We just added Collin County last month, and Dallas County is scheduled to give their second approval to add pace in early August. So, with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that the judge commissioners have.
Lee, have you added local companies? I haven't seen anything come through, but I've had inquiries. I've directed your way. Anything with those?
I apologize. I'm having a really hard time hearing.
I'm sorry. Let me say that again. I have sent a couple of people your way that have made inquiries. Is any of that going to seem like it's going to come to fruition?
I know we were in discussions with some of the people that you sent over recently. Our Chief Operating Officer, Glenn Silva, has been in discussions. But if there's anybody who you've heard that we have not been responsive to, please let me know. We'll definitely follow up.
No one's come back and said you didn't contact them, so I think we're doing good.
Okay. No, and we appreciate the fact that you guys are referring people over and letting know that PACE is an option out there, and we really do appreciate when you send somebody our way.
All right. Okay. Anything else for Mr. McCormick?
No, we've got a couple projects kicking around. I don't know if those developers want those to be in a public forum right now, but if any commissioners have any questions that you'd like to ask on an individual basis, please feel free to give us a call anytime. And again, I apologize for not being there in person today.
That's all right. You get out and celebrate 4th of July. Sometimes you don't wake up as early.
We'll try not to make a habit of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we always enjoy having you come. So thank you very much for this morning, and have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. All right, now open and take action as necessary on rebids for toilets issue.
Mayfield.
We have some kind of wrong road. Like the tropics.
Okay. All right, this is from Mayfield Company, and they have bid estimated quantity 700 cases at $36.55, or 50 cases, and it's different. 2-ply versus 2-ply 1,000 sheet is $25.92 case. Okay, this is from Wagner Supply Company in Odessa. They have bid for 700 cases of 2-ply 4.5 by 3.5 sheets, roll 48.25, and the 50 cases of the jumbo toilet 2-ply 1,000 count, bid price of $42.38. And this is from Empire Paper Company of Wichita Falls, Texas, and they have bid 700 cases of the 2-ply 500 sheets rolls at $39.90 per case, and for the 50 cases of jumbo toilet 2-ply 1,000 count, $26.40. I'd ask the court if we take those under advisement and report back.
Second. Can we send them to Willie still?
Yeah. Well, Nancy's going to handle those. Okay, motion by Commissioner Fincan, seconded by Commissioner Mahler. Any comments, questions, anyone in the audience? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, item 3 is open and take necessary action on bids for road materials for the second half of 2022. First bid is from TNG Construction, and they have bid a hot lay mix, FOB their plant at $71.50 a ton, delivered to Wichita Falls $84.75, Valley View $89.25, Iowa Park $84.75, Burke $82.98, and Electra $90.75. They also bid coal lay at $83.50 at the plant, $96.75 at Wichita Falls, Valley View $101.25. And Iowa Park, $96.75, Burke, $93.98, and Electra, $102.75. Zach Burkett has bid the same items at their plant for hot lay is $96.75, and delivered in Wichita County is Wichita Falls $99.75, and $101.25 for Valley View, $135 for Iowa Park, $135 for Burke Burnett, and $104.25 for Electra. For their coal lay, it's $77.50 at their plant, $94.80 to Wichita Falls, $97.20 to Valley View, $96.70 to Iowa Park, $96.70 to Burke, and $99.60 to Electra. We have anything on aggregates? Thank you. This is from P2 Emulsions. Okay, they have bid, their FOB price on CRS2 is $3.01 a gallon, and ranges delivery throughout Wichita County is $3.29. For CSS1 is $2.68, $2.96 for delivery throughout the county. For prime AEP, it's $1.97 at the plant, $2.24 throughout the county. This is from Ergon Asphalt Emulsions. They have bid $2.71 at the plant for CQS1F, which we had down as CRS2. $2.71 at the plant, $2.75 throughout the county. I'm sorry, for CRS is $2.76 at the plant, $2.80 throughout the county. Prime is $286 at the plant, $290 throughout the county. They did not bid the other products. This is from Rooker Asphalt Company. They bid RC 250 at $450 at the plant, $484 throughout the county. I'm sorry, $484 to $487 depending on the county. MC 250 at $4 at the plant, $439 to $436 throughout the county. MC 800, $395 at the plant, and $433 to, $431 to $434 throughout the county. MC 30, $450 at the plant, and $451 to $454 throughout the county. They also bid the emulsions at $305 for CRS2 or 2 to H, and $333 to $335 throughout the county. CSS 1 a gallon is $310 at the plant, and $338 to $340 throughout the county. And the Prime is $355 at the plant, and $384 to $385 throughout the county. Okay, this bid is from Light Asphalt Products, and they have bid MC 800 at $4 a gallon at the plant, and $4.298 per gallon throughout the county. They have bid CRS 2 at $3.45 at the plant, and $3.743 delivery throughout the county. Any other bids?
One more, Judge.
And this is from Big City Crushed Concrete, and their flex base is $11 a ton at the plant.
Was there no rock? Did we not bid that rock with emulsions? Or because we had did it so, or recently maybe we excluded that because we didn't receive any rock bids.
No, we didn't. I do not know. Nancy, you don't by chance?
Did you change the sheet,
Changed
Nan?
the bidding.
It doesn't look like there was.
What did we change?
Well, we're going to change to come up earlier in the fall and bid that rock, so we'll have it pre-hand to the end of the year.
Which is where we'll buy the majority.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looked like the sheet was a little different. And I didn't know if you changed that.
I know we talked to Willie about changing that, and that may be.
And that may be why, because we'd recently bid the other.
We just
Fall
recently,
and
yes.
spring instead of winter and summer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Motion to take under advisement and
Thanks,
report
sir.
back next week.
They sound significantly higher, Judge, just off the surface. Brace yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Any comments, anyone in the audience or on the phone call in? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries 5-0. Okay. Item 4 is review and approve the regular bills for payment, order the county treasurer to disburse payroll and bill payments within 72 hours via U.S. mail, FedEx, UPS, or electronically unless directed otherwise, or may be picked up and ledgered in the treasurer's office.
So moved.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Finn Cannon to approve the bills for payments. Any comments by anyone on the bills? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item 5 is discuss, consider, take action to approve Daily Electric Incorporated quote dated June 28, 2022 of $5,460 to relocate the 37.5 kVA transformer to adjacent storage room to be paid from permanent improvement fund. Commissioner Beecham.
Yes, Judge. I've asked Rick to come in here, and I'll actually speak on this as well. This is a transformer that's located in what used to be the pantry area of the old jail kitchen. When the renovations are complete, that room will function as Rick's office. It has a large transformer that is mounted at the top of the wall in the corner. Anyone who's been around a dry type transformer knows that they buzz continuously. They never stop sound. So it's not a good fit with an office situation. It was not identified originally in the construction area because all the noise that was down there before, just never really thought about it. So, Rick, if you have anything to add.
No, not necessarily. I mean, it's just, it's in a small room, relatively small room, and it does emit a sound that it doesn't take but a few minutes of it to really let you know that you don't want to hear that any longer. So we can relocate it. There's actually a storage room just on the exterior wall there that has a closet with a door on the exterior of the building, and we can put it in there on the current room as well, instead of hanging it on the wall where the noise will emit through the wall, and probably make it where it's acceptable. Where it's at now, it's definitely not.
It'll be in a much better location in that storage closet right off of the loading dock than inside the building.
And it'll be the same transformer, no need to upgrade.
It's just moving.
Yep.
Piping and everything required to move and wire.
No, that's good.
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Okay. Any comment or discussion by anyone? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Beecham, seconded by Commissioner Mahler to approve the item as stated. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Item number 6, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the proposed request to modify the windows in the entry lobby at the LEC with 1-inch bronze panel above the sash and a 1-inch clear insulated tempered glass below the amount of below for the amount of $12,575 to be paid from the LEC bond fund. Commissioner Beecham.
Yes, Judge. One of the first things that was identified by Sheriff's Office staff when they moved into the building was the glass in the front lobby. While it is secure, it certainly does not feel secure. It vibrates, it moves, it flexes. The panels are, in my estimation, too wide to not have a stanchion joint between them. I think they're butt jointed. This would correct that deficiency and make the lobby area more secure for our staff behind glass. So that was one of the very first asks when we moved in from the Sheriff's Office. So, Sheriff, you have anything to add?
Yeah, those panels, when they come together, they just have silicone holes in them. You have to push it in 3 to 4 inches. But you know that it is silicone ballistic proof, but when you throw it in, it's harsh, you could have directly at the clerk, bounced back off of it, and she went throwing packages around. She went to jail. She just got out of jail. And went out of jail. So it's a common thing, we have some of these people that love our new facility, apparently. Wanna leave. But that, it also, if anybody would come in there to do any kind of harm, what we had actually had briefly planned in that was taking out there, one portion of it, is taking out things. We didn't know that, we didn't see that, and I don't think they had a their team, they were aware of it.
Yeah, this,
Another team that took care of that problem.
yeah, this,
Caused the problem. Thank you, Mark.
Well, I remember some discussions during construction on this. Was that a value engineering thing that was done at one time, thinking that was,
yes.
It had originally been scheduled for VR glass, and it was cut all VR glass other than what's on the exterior front wall from outside to the inside. Once you get inside, then all VR glass was gone. In the public area, it's a whole different thing with jail and top glass, but we had that front lobby, all the glass around that front lobby was supposed to be VR glass, and it was
As well as the ballistic panel down below where the clerk sit at,
yeah.
below the counter, supposed to be where they can get down and still get out, across and exit. So it's trying to remember it. Especially the times when it's crazy.
This also reduces the surface area of glass and puts in aluminum panels as opposed to so large a span of glass as well, so.
Is this VR glass?
This is not VR glass. VR glass would be about 3 times this amount. But it is the fact that a cell phone bounced off of it is actually pretty surprising because it really is very, very movable. Flexible, yes.
Okay.
Because when you get glass, when you get it, first it'll be a lot thicker glass, laminated top glass. But when you get smaller pieces, the smaller piece of glass, the more durable it is. But when it's on these panels currently are probably 6 foot tall by about 6 foot wide, and it's quarter-inch thick glass. I mean, it's just very thin glass, and it's butt glazed. That's what it's called, butt glazed. And when you push on it, it moves. And what this suggestion would be is to come down and put a mullion at the top of the normal door frame level, so it'll drop that to about 3 foot tall piece of glass instead of way up high to the ceiling. And then we'll put some intermediate vertical mullions in there to just make the pieces of glass smaller and make it thicker. But we did not do a VR glass in there.
It kind of throws me when we value engineer, and now we've devalued engineering. We've paid to put that in, and now we're paying to replace it.
And we're still not getting what we wanted to start with. So.
We can reprice it with VR glass in there, but glass has gone crazy. It's one of the construction items, materials that is insane.
That's an extremely wide area where all the glass is at there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
if you're gonna rebid it, can you not rebid it where you're putting in some of your uprights, where the person directly sets maybe has the VR glass and the others have the one that's laminated? That way we're not putting the bill for VR glass for the whole thing, at least where they set. It's just a thought.
That wasn't requested when they asked us to look at doing it, so we did not go down that road, but certainly we can.
What do you think, Kurt?
I think that'd be a good idea.
If we're gonna.
Especially if you got the panels, the ballistic panels below. Somebody comes in, they shoot the first person they're gonna shoot at.
Correct.
If it's VR glass there, they can drop the deck and just get it out of there.
So the bottom area below the counter is reinforced. It's
Not now.
not
No,
now,
it
so
would
it's
have
going
to
to
be.
be.
It was valued.
Yeah.
And there's a way that we could, from the back side, so that it doesn't destroy the front side without having to redo that whole wall. We could put some Kevlar panels from the back side on that. But again, that was not a request, and so we didn't do that.
We need it. Should be.
Well, is some sort of material like Kevlar or something less expensive than BR glass, so we cut down the amount of glass? We still do something that looks nice, but I'm thinking that material is less expensive than BR glass or not?
I would imagine it is, yes. The VR glass is very expensive.
Yeah.
And,
Just,
it would drastically change the look of that entry lobby, and I mean, I'm at your pleasure. Tell me what you want, and I'll see about getting pricing for it. But what the intent was with this particular one was just to secure and stabilize that glass so that when you came and pushed on it, not just a cell phone wouldn't go through it, but, you know, it would make it a lot more secure. And so we certainly can put, you know, figure out exactly where the gals are going to sit and put it there, or put it across the whole bottom section across there, or change it out to something else. But I think that they will want to be able to see, I mean, without talking to the sheriff specifically about it, I think they'll want to have that as open as they can to see what's coming in the door and everything. I don't think we want to close it off and make just a small area, even a small area of just the glass. I think we want to be able to see out into that lobby.
Yeah.
We've had issues with them over to sit on the other side and make a camp over there.
Yeah, we're,
Seeing on the roads, praying over there, you know, and all that kind of issues going on. So.
we're already dropping the glass height, so
Right.
we can
If you would like to
table it and relook at it.
I think it'd be good to look at it,
Yeah.
at least where they said, if you're putting in some uprights anyway, I agree with keeping it all open, you need to have that open look, but where they're sitting, maybe try to get VR glass.
VR
in those
glass.
spots. So if somebody did walk in the door, pull the gun out, shoot directly at them, at least they'd be protected right there. If they're walking around somewhere, hopefully they're paying attention to their surroundings while they work up there, so.
And what do you have to, what's needed to make that bottom ballistic proof?
But there is a sheet rock that's got our coating on it that we can put, like I said, from the inside, from the back side, so that it would come through the sheet rock from the front side, because right now all there is a drywall wall, 2 layers of sheet rock and some studs, and so, and then the cabinetry sits, you know, there's nothing under the cabinetry except for the wall, so we could come in on the back side of it and put that Kevlar sheet rock on the back side of the lower portion of the wall.
Okay, let's get a redo of that and see where we come up.
There's, and I'll go into this with these guys later, but there's all sorts of different, do we take into consideration even there's like a 2-inch frame that we can replace the glass with, we have to go in and replace the frame, because if somebody is so perfectly shooting that they shoot through the frame, they don't hit the glass and they don't hit the wall underneath, but they actually hit through the frame, then that's another level of protection that you go through, and it's like how far do we want to take it?
They're going to shoot what they see.
I would think so, because we deal with this with banking and other things too, you know, it's like in a teller area, the glass is, but then is the frame, and so there's lots to consider there, and I'll go through this with y'all again. Then we can have a conversation about it before I get it repriced again.
Okay. All right, item 7 is discuss or take action to approve proposal request for the dock canopy at the LEC, cover the loading dock and a warehouse to the end of the dock, approximately 47 feet in the amount of $63,875 to be paid from the LEC fund. Let me ask a question. Commissioner, did you get a chance to check the balance of what we have in the LEC fund?
Yes, I did. We currently have about $650,000 that is unencumbered at this point. And we just encumbered in earlier action about 142,000 of that, so.
What is the 47-foot measurement? Is
Yeah.
that length or width
That's
or
Length,
length?
And
this is,
How wide?
It's about 20 foot wide, maybe-ish. I
uh,
don't know an exact width dimension. It's the depth of the dock and then a tiny bit of an overhang there. And what was originally done is when you come out the cafeteria and warehouse doors, there, that area all the way down, you go all the way down that dock, all the way to a mechanical room. It was originally, the entire thing was covered. And we came back during value engineering again, and chopped off this 47 feet of that. And so now we're kind of back in finishing out that back again. This is
Sure, it's 47 feet long and 20 foot, is that what you're saying?
ish, yeah.
what makes the price difference so great compared to the next item with the 20 by 20? Is it different material?
Let me see what's the next item. Okay, the 20 by 20 area, yeah, it probably just factors a little bit different materials, but the picnic area, it's like it's a
it's at the corner.
corner, and right now it sort of is like a multiple sides. It's not just straight across, and to try to do that correctly and to tie in to the existing roof and to what all you have to do to make that work correctly. Whereas on the dock cover, it's just a shed roof, and it's just going from a wall to the columns, and the columns are even already, when we did the dock, we put anchor plates and everything in there to do that, and so all they're doing is welding a column down to a bolt plate or an anchor bolt plate and going up from that. Over at the picnic area, those don't have footings or anything, and so there'll have to be a footing put at the columns and everything for that, and it's a little bit nicer area.
That's $177 a square foot for a 20 by 20. Good grief, that sounds like a lot of money.
It's got doesn't it have tilt walls in it?
The picnic area does not. The picnic area is what's, we call it the armpit of the L shape there where it comes in, and that you're tying into other metal building.
Are both these just metal building structures? The metal awning?
And on this one, Glenda, you just got one slope from the building out to the end of the dock, or is it pitched
No,
coming out of the?
It's a shed. It's a single slope that comes along there.
Well, if you look at it by square feet, the awning deal is $67 a square feet, and the picnic area is $177 a square foot. That is a tremendous difference.
Again, mainly.
I understand you got 4 footings and do that. You got 4 slabs.
No, the slab is there, but you're gonna have to cut the slab out, because to get a footing for the columns, you're gonna have to cut that area out and then re-pour it back.
Well, 2 different agenda items. I would say I'm not for the first agenda item, the one that we're currently on. I would-
7.
Need to work on some pricing.
Well, that's just
Yeah.
I don't think the
And-
canopy is necessary.
Sheriff?
$30,000, guys, for two projects.
Chief Brother, he's out in injury, but he texted me to, his 2 cents is maybe hold off on the dock tapping, but take care of the front.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, we went through that debate, what are we covering that's going to take place under there? We need that, because we had a long discussion on that during the
Well, if it's
construction phase.
47 foot though, that's 50 foot of, if you're unloading in the rain, you're
We've
going
got
to be
some area
drenched.
covered though. I
Do
mean,
what?
We've got a covered area. It's not,
There's about 20 foot that is covered.
so it'll cover
Yeah.
a single
okay.
semi.
So if it's raining, I would say take the turn and wait till you can get under the covered area. But
I mean, we have stacked
I don't
up
know
trucks.
how often they have multiple trucks back up
Yeah.
all at once. It would also, I think, cover all the way down, well, I know it did, but how close it gets to where the trash containers are, so that when they're throwing stuff into the trash, it would cover all the way, because they're the last things down, I do believe.
Yeah, that's when
And so it would cover all the way down to where they're taking trash out. On a daily basis, that would be more of my desire than to, for dock loading and unloading. But
that sounds a lot better to have that covered like that. That way it keeps the trustees on the dock and not down below.
But isn't the front of the building, the extension pitched or gabled? And is there other extensions off the building that aren't gabled or aren't gabled?
the warehouse area, so from part of that warehouse area is a shed roof off of the tilt wall.
Oh, okay.
It has.
So
a
it does that
single-
already
it
over there?
sheds already.
Okay.
And then, and it's, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it's say like 75 feet sticking out there. And
Okay.
then, so the dock area, as it's right up against, has currently about 20 foot of the dock, so it's running on that same slope and same with the warehouse.
Gotcha.
And this would be just an extension
Tie
of
into it.
that, tying that, bringing it.
Gotcha. Okay.
North of where what is currently covered.
Right.
Will these go out for bid, or are these bid prices, or where?
MF Liticon provided these prices, they took, not bid bids, but the stuff that they were gonna do, they did it already, and then it would be like a change order to a project or something like that.
Well,
So there has been no bid?
They are not bid, no.
Wow. That answers some questions for me. I think that these do need to go out for bids, because I think those prices are a little bit too high for what we're buying. Either way, but I think we need to concentrate on the front of the sheriff's office, the glass and the ballistic before we do any of this.
and I would also question, kind of a technical thing, but is this with Yates Liticon or just M&F Liticon?
M&F Liticon, it would be under their CMAR that they've got with the way that their current CMAR is written, it's for Wichita County variety, various, I think is what the name of it is, various projects.
Okay.
And so it falls under the CMAR that they have for additional work. It's not.
But yeah, okay, now, I realize these two things we've talked about here had to do with value engineering. Okay, but when we get into the picnic area, was that part of the original?
No.
So wouldn't that have to be, that needs, at that price, it needs to be bid out? I mean, there's not a question on that, it's over 50,000.
It depends on if it goes as a change order to one of the current contracts, or they can bid it.
Will either of these change the drain plan?
No.
I know you gotta, sometimes, it's one of those deals you don't look at till after you get them in place, and then you gotta,
Yeah, no, water will continue to go where the water is currently going.
it's like that 47-foot deal, it's just gonna take it out a little further, so it's gonna go in the same. That's something you gotta
But it's
think
going
about.
to be more water, more concentrated than, yeah. Okay. Chief Rutledge, I think the sheriff brought this, wanted to wait on this one and review it some more, so why don't we just follow that? Item 8 is discuss or take action to approve proposed request to construct a 20 by 20 picnic shelter on the south side of the sheriff's office in the inside corner with the jail in the amount of $68,425 to be paid from LEC bond fund. Linda, you want to give us a little more explanation of that? We kind of got into it.
There's not a lot of explanation too, other than it's just a little canopy that will connect onto, there's windows that go across inside, there's a break room right there, and windows that go across that L corner, and this will be another area that's outside that. Right now, it's all concrete, and that's on the southwest side of the building, and southwest sides of buildings in Texas that are concreted are hot, that's all there is to it. And so it would, double and triple purpose. Number one, it would shade that window a little bit more, so the breaker wouldn't, that window area wouldn't get quite as hot. And it would provide a place outside the building for people to get outside and have on the rare occasion that we have nice days, which are actually not that rare, but still, it gives them a place when they're inside that jail and concrete walls all day long. Sometimes you just need to get outside. And so this would provide a shaded and covered area with picnic table, not picnic tables, we don't do picnic tables.
Yeah, there's about 458 people in there that want to get outside.
Not those guys.
Or somewhere in that neighborhood.
Look, I had a quick question on the picnic. You said that the cement had to be cut out to the footer. Are you just talking cutting out a foot to set poles, or you're talking to cut out a foot instead of weld plate? Is that all you're talking about?
It would be a foundation of sorts. I don't know exactly.
That's why I'm asking what.
If it's probably it would be a spread footing, probably like about a 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot type of column base, so that then they can put the columns on that.
Just to set a pole in. All right. And I also believe that, just my personal opinion, I think that's way overpriced for what it is. I think it should have to go out for bids. I don't think it should be considered with the MF Lincoln on the basis of calling it a change order. It's not a change order. We didn't take it off the original deal. It's a new item.
Right.
I agree with that.
Instead of having that concrete out, bulk down a plate if you want to.
Technically, we can't do that. Well, it's not as much for, and you'd be surprised, and I know that a lot of people do a lot of things that we can't commercially, but it's for uplift as much as it is for hold down, for both, because you stick a canopy out there.
You put a carport there, and the uplift is what's going to get you. It's not.
Right.
The city will let you do it at your driveway, let you bolt it down. But it's really not very strong. You're getting about 3.5 inch bolts. That's all you got.
It's not a good idea.
Is the standard like 200-mile wind or something like that? There is a standard, though. Is it 90?
It's up to 120 now.
120.
Right code is 120.
So you gotta have that much under there, and if it's a 4-inch slab, it may not be enough, so.
Don't that much around all park every day.
And
This afternoon.
the fact that it's in a corner where wind eddies around anyway,
Right.
so the uplift is your issue.
Yeah, you want to, but you can cut it out and go down and get the footing that you need without breaking out the whole slab.
Right.
Yeah, and this is a hipped roof here, right?
Yes.
Oh, I think it's a great project. I'm just shocked at the number.
We can put it on the agenda for next week, for advertise it for bids for this one.
You'll be amazed, though, it's insane what materials have gone up to. And, for so many things, I can't begin to, when people are asking me now to estimate things, I would hate to attempt to do that. Things have tripled, some things have even more than tripled in the last year and a half. And, dollar per square foot for new builds, we were looking at $300 and $400+ a square foot. As a couple of years ago, we were looking at 200. We thought we were way easy. Man, I got more in there than I'll ever need. And now we're looking at $300 to $400, and so we can bid it out. But I think you'll be surprised what the bids come in again. So.
Okay, but the other thing we've got to look, we just got a text from the auditor saying while we have more money left in that LEC fund, we didn't budget that way. So we're going to have to look at what we need to do to possibly meet this. I added it up and we got a little over 200,000 total in this, these suggested projects. And is that picnic area, is that allowed to be a smoking area also?
Currently, no, but, you know, I just don't want to smoke out there.
Okay, I don't
Our
either.
campus is
Well,
what
we
we
always
looked at,
say-
it's the entire campus.
We had some on night shift, they would go out there and smoke, but they got a directive, they get in the car and go outside the gate or something.
Okay.
But Glenda, on all these, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I want to make sure that we maintain the aesthetics of the building and not, you know, have something done.
A bamboo shelter.
I want it to really look like it belongs.
I've got some
Yeah.
oil field back.
We knocked that out today.
Okay, so what we want to do on that one is advertise for bids on that. Is that the consensus here I'm feeling?
If we're gonna pursue it,
I,
unless we don't wanna pursue it.
well, I don't like pursuing it at that price, but that may be the,
Well, do they all need to be included in a proposal, even the walk door canopies?
Well, we don't know that we're gonna do them. The way I looked at that, we're not even sure yet we wanted to.
Well, my 2 cents worth is I would not do the dock canopy. I think it's,
Well, no, I'm
There's-
actually was talking about 9,
No, we're not.
7, 8, 9,
7, 8, 9.
maybe since they all deal with metal construction.
Well, that's 7 is the dock canopy. I would not re-advertise that. I would just not do that one. The request for 8 has been made by Sheriff's Office to cover their staff. That's a high cost, but I do see some value in that.
Well, I think one of the great things about this project, thanks to work by a lot of different people, and I think this court overseeing it, is we brought that project in on budget, which, once again, a lot of people made that happen. Linda, your team was part of it, but let's don't throw them in the towel right now. Let's see it through.
Yeah.
And that's what's made this thing, I think, good for the taxpayers of Wichita County. We've got a tremendous facility that's gonna last us a long time. And I'm not saying we don't need some of this stuff, but good grief, those numbers look tough, and maybe that's where we are.
2 years ago, it was cheaper, by the way.
What's that?
2 years ago, it was cheaper. Well, we have the best economy in the world right now.
And it's not gonna put us into trouble to take another week or two to do some more research. I mean,
No.
I agree with the security deal. The security deal is something we need to address, but, this other stuff,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
If we're gonna put it out for bid, we need to be specific on what you want as far as
And so
what we
we need
want
to do
on the
drawings,
foundation,
so
because,
have
I mean,
exactly.
truthfully, you could cut it out, set the poles, you can cut it out, put some weld plates in there, you can do whatever, but you need to be specific about it, because you can get bids for.
A lot of different ideas.
but I think those that are something totally new, I really am concerned about not putting those out for bid. If it's a legitimate change order, then, and the 47 foot of additional cover area, that was in there, that I don't have any misgivings about. But the picnic area is totally new. And there was some discussion about the door canopies when we were doing, early on in this, if I recall right.
Yeah, we had a lot of discussion while we were moving through that project on the door canopies.
Going to that one.
Yeah, let's talk about number 9.
What kind of door canopies are there?
This is just a 8x8,
Steel
I
frame,
call
steel
it
cover?
eyebrows. Yeah, steel frame, just an eyebrow that's basically sticking out with
Mr. Straight.
with some columns. Yeah.
Just on, not long.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 of them, 8 by 8 for 21,000. I'll say ditto. It's almost exactly as the one before. I would tell you that those they might not meet the threshold to ask out for bids, but if we're gonna be bidding those picnic shelters, we should bid that long.
Yeah,
Because that's,
Well, it's all construction on the same building. I don't think you can legally separate them. Once you start bidding, you bid every. Now, if it's as is a real change order, then that can be done different. And I know M&F has worked hard at trying to accommodate us and do things, but, yeah. So then you want to go out for bids on number 9, add that or not?
I think we need to determine whether or not we want to do it first, and then if we do, put it out for bids.
Well,
Bids are gonna tell us.
I'm going to say the bids will give me a,
better idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think the important part of the consideration.
and then.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a consensus, just 8 and 9 then,
8, 9?
leave, do away with 7?
And I think we need to pursue, back up there to 6, definitely pursue how we can make that glass.
Yeah, that's,
That,
yeah.
but all those, I think that's the most important thing on our list.
That one is, to me, is one of the highest things we have there. Okay, so you want to take out 7 completely? Okay.
Well, that's kind of what Mark had recommended.
That's my feeling on that. I think it's a lot of expense for not a lot of gain.
Okay. Okay, 10 is discuss, consider, take to approve proposal request for Constructor concrete flumes 5 foot wide going from the building to the sidewalk to each roof drain to stop erosion from the rainwater in the amount of $8,750 to be paid from LEC's funds. Commissioner?
Yeah, this is something that was discovered after the building was constructed, that the rooftop scuppers, when we have a larger rain, they're flowing a lot more volume of water than I guess was expected. So it hits the rock that we have, the rock garden rock, and it washes it away. So these are to build little flumes to prevent that, to get the water out from the building out to the parking lot area.
How wide are those? What are the sizes of it? I said it's 5 foot.
It's a variety of lengths, everywhere from, I think one of them is like very short, like 5, 6 feet, and the other one's, there's one like 17 feet, it's a
Do
variety.
you know the total square footage?
I don't know.
But all of them are 5 foot wide?
Yeah, that's what we told you the price.
Are they just sloped? I mean, you actually mow over them, or do you have to weed eat
They're all
around
within
them?
the rock garden area.
Oh, okay.
It's both front and back.
The water is so much that it actually floats that rock, and then the rock
Yeah.
is being taken out to the parking areas.
Yeah.
And the sidewalks covered in it's enough gravel type stuff you can stick in walk.
So it's pea gravel in there or small gravel, less than 2
Back in
inch?
the back, it's the pea gravel, it's the smaller in the front.
Small river rock.
It's small river rock in front, yeah.
Well, I think that one, I'd suggest we go ahead with that one.
Yeah, I think this one
And I
is,
have a question about
Yeah.
that, and this is just a question. I'm not saying, I'm not against it. MF Litigant bid this one too then?
Yeah, he had scales, he just put scales prices together on it.
Okay. And the reason I ask this, so if it was, we just needed some concrete poured at the county. So if the maintenance would have just called a couple of contractors and said, hey, we want a couple of prices on this. But if we go through it like we're doing it right now, do we not pay your firm to draw it, to plan it, and then we pay MF Litigant to do it, and then we pay their sub to do it? We're paying like 4 different people.
Right now, you're not paying me to do it.
I'm just asking, that's why I'm asking.
On it, but, yeah, on something like this, yes. On the buildings portion, then I will have to do something on that. So far, I haven't done it because we just verbally talked to him and Litigant about it. On the concrete, there's not a lot that I would have to produce on the concrete portion of it.
Cool.
So, yeah, it would be something that for code and for city and everything else, when any of the other things are done, I will have to do as well.
But this is not one that would require any kind of.
Right, that one is.
Well,
is-
That's why sometimes I don't understand why we as a county are paying an architectural firm, an engineer, and a contract paying them all their cuts to get, that's why I asked how many square foot it was for the price. Because right now, we don't know what square footage we're actually buying, because we don't know, but we're paying
There's
$87.50
a
for
list,
it.
I just don't know it off the top of my head.
Right. But it could be 100 square foot, or it could be 1,000 square foot, so we don't really know what we're bidding on. That makes sense?
Right.
It's hard for me to agree so fast on something when I don't know what we're paying for.
Well, on
Well,
that
this
stuff
one-
where wind load is the deal, we've gotta have a
It-
sign.
It has to be,
You have a certified plan.
If y'all decide to move forward with this, we will have the engineer, or now that we're gonna go out to bid with them, to go out to bid, they have to have engineered drawings. to
Yeah,
go out.
engineered drawing.
So we
that's-
will have to do that process. But on something like concrete, it depends upon whether it's a city ordinance or code that I'm having to follow, or a life safety code that I'm, and I try to take care of y'all to make sure
Yeah,
that
you do.
y'all
I know.
don't step, outside the realm that you should be. But if it's something that I don't have to be a part of, I always just go ahead and go with it.
this one
This
came
one
about
is-
in discussions way back when we were still finishing up construction. We've just held on to it to make sure we were
Yeah,
protecting
and
our funds.
it'll never be right until we get
So-
some deterrent there for
Well, I
that
agree.
water.
It has
No.
to be done. I'm just,
So it-
that's what I'm talking about. I
If
just
your
don't know what
parents
I'm.
want to take care of this, we have to have it.
Just knowing the amount that's out there, I don't think we're gonna get it much cheaper than that. I mean, even if we did it ourselves, there's quite a bit of concrete work to do, particularly in the backside. There's the one area that's, you gotta go all the way from the building out to the parking
Yeah,
lot.
There's
and
one that's,
It's,
I don't know, 17, 18, 20 something feet.
yeah.
And
Well,
there's
even
some
if
others that are fairly short, but
Well, one of them you said was around 30 square foot, and one of them 17 foot. I mean, even if you, at 400 foot, you're over $21 a square foot for flat work. That's pretty high. But I'm only one vote. I'm just voicing my opinion. So I'll do it either. You can make a motion to approve.
Well, do we want to confirm that area first and then just put this back
Yeah.
on Monday?
I appreciate the narrative, but I'd sure like to see what things look like.
yeah,
And we roll it all together, you talk about them individually, that's one thing, but all of a sudden roll it all together, it's $209,000 where we are. Okay. 9, we're gonna go out for,
something to do is what I'll take care of.
okay, 9, we're gonna advertise for bids. 10, discuss to take action to approve proposal request to
Oh, we've already done
construct 4 concrete, that's one we're,
Well, that's when we're on.
yeah, okay. What do we wanna do on that? Go ahead or get more information?
I'd just make sure that we're in line with, on the amount of area, I guess, we're doing. I'm all for doing the project but like Mickey, I think that it would be good to just
So-
make sure we understand the square footage we're getting.
We need more details to look at it next week.
I looked on the agenda backup, but it didn't have the square footage of the concrete.
I know that, and Matt in my office went out there and measured it twice, but he's on vacation this week, so I can't even holler at him and get him to get that.
Okay.
Right. But I know that there's
I'd-
square
yeah.
footages available, I just don't have them.
Okay. I'd like to say we're worried about a torrential downpour, but I don't think we are.
If that's what it takes,
Yeah.
I'll go out there.
I'll go pick up the gravel.
I don't think it's gonna happen this week. That's for sure.
All right. So, Glenda, we need more information on number 10.
Okay.
Then number 9, we're going to advertise for bids. And number 8, we're going to advertise for bids. Number 7, we've removed from the scope. And number 6 is going to go back to drawing table and revise that plan and discuss it hopefully next week or week after.
Okay. It will, since we have to, if we're gonna advertise it for bids, we will have to provide the drawings. It'll take my engineers a bit to get the drawings put together. Then we will have to put it in paper, run it twice, 2 weeks in a row, and then, like, you know, the whole process. So it will be 6 to 8 weeks minimum before we.
Okay, on which one of these? Or was it-
Anything we're bidding.
Oh, okay,
If we put it out for bid,
okay,
it's.
okay. And we advertise in the electric paper?
We certainly can.
Yes, please do.
We're doing it for the counties.
You don't like what it add to the cost of the project?
But I'm just saying, I'm not having it back here in a couple of weeks. for you.
Okay.
It's a lengthy process. Fine.
Quick question, would you mind showing me what you're wanting to put out for bids before you put it out for bid?
No, I do not know.
Okay.
I'll
Thank
actually
you.
bring
Yeah.
that, and in fact, that's the way that the process should go, is if I actually
Yeah.
put something out to bid, I'm supposed to bring it to the
Right.
court and approve for y'all.
Correct.
For y'all
What we
to-
generally do.
To put it out to bid.
Yeah,
Thanks.
So as soon as I get it ready, I will let Mark know and we can get it on the agenda.
all right, and then,
Do you want me to include the concrete in that or not? Remember,
No, we
Yeah.
don't have to do the concrete if we could just kind of verify the measurement there and
Yeah,
then
on
we
10.
can accept or reject it.
yeah, on number 10. Well, I think we need to do something, that's
It
not,
needs to be done.
yeah, we're not talking about an insurmountable amount of money, we just kind of like to know
okay.
what's happening. All right. Okay, then there's no action on any of those items other than what we've advised in the court. Okay, item number 11 is discuss, consider, take action to approve Hudson Blueprint Incorporated quote dated June 23rd, 2022 of $35,008.56 for furniture and audio visual systems equipment for the Commissioner's courtroom, mezzanine, and the room 290 to be paid from the Permanent Improvement Fund. Commissioner Beecham?
Yeah, Judge, I don't know if this ruins this agenda item or not, but that's misstated. It's not all from Hudson Blueprint. They just had the furniture component.
That's kind of what I wondered, but
Yeah. The majority of this stuff is individual purchases that Brendan and I have worked through to determine the actual needs of this courtroom. Going back a few weeks when we had Visionality here, there was a $212,000 proposal to redo the technology in this courtroom, which we tabled that. Upon tabling that, Brendan and I got together and discussed what could be done in this courtroom with our own staff, how to make improvements to make this function better. This agenda item is a result of those discussions based upon some things that we saw that was being done in Denton County and other places. The whole agenda item kind of reimagines how this courtroom works. We'll be removing the conference table from in here, moving it to 290, changing 290 into a conference center. It'll have a TV. It'll be set up for video conferencing, so we can do Zoom conferences, whatever, in 290. It would change the courtroom and to have staff tables on either side of the bar, so we could have like sheriff staff, auditor staff, whatever at the tables with microphones. There'd be a podium in the middle where the conference table now sits. Do away with the phone system. All of our meetings would be done through the audio system, so our tabletop mics would pick up all the audio, and it would go to the audio board, be processed, put in the video system, so we'd be able to hear the phone calls, they'd be able to hear us, everything would be on the live stream, et cetera. Brendan could probably talk more about how all that functions. So, you have anything to really add to that?
Unless you have questions.
No, I'm not the tech savvy guy. I can do the audio side.
Brendan, on the, our voice, then, how is it translated to the telephone? What's the,
Instead of doing a call-in conference on the phone like we're doing now, it would be done through Zoom, and it would be a call-in line. They call in on Zoom, and they could, since it would be on the computer and receiving a feed from all the microphones anyway, they'll be able to hear, and then we just pipe the audio output to the rooftop speakers. So you'd be able to hear them on the call, and then they can hear anything that comes through the feed. That was all for people not being able to hear on the phone issue.
yeah.
And you'd be able to control, okay, I call in and I'm mad about something, but am I muted until I'm,
Yes, that can be set up. It's just someone would have to run it, whoever's running the board, or even Nancy could do it. Whoever is sitting there can approve whether they can speak or not, because in Teams, you can raise your hand.
Right.
And be called upon. So yes, and it can be set up that way in the meeting, so that somebody can't just call in and start instructing them.
and would it show that person then, or, I'm thinking if they call in, then they don't have a way to raise a hand or do anything.
Then you can push, I believe, a star on it. I can't remember.
Okay.
But it does alert that you want to speak.
Okay.
When they do on Zoom, if you've got a Zoom monitor, there's a hand raise feature.
Yeah, but that's where you got video. I'm talking audio only.
But there's a lot of people that just call in on the phone and listen to our meetings, so.
They'll still
And
be
you
able
can't
to.
hear us. You can't hear Mark. Mark's probably the worst.
Yeah, I had trouble with Mark and Mickey. I could hear the judge real clear last week.
You're basically gonna take this gap out from
Correct.
here to that microphone.
And the microphones that will be on your desk will be the ones that they'll hear. So instead of trying to do two separate systems, it will all be one system.
And we'll also have that capability in 290, and we're also adding some capability that we don't have on the exterior front porch of the courthouse and the interior landing. We'll put in a permanent PA system, so if we have announcements, whatever, that we typically have, press conferences, et cetera, we'll just go in, have somebody turn on the system and hand the mic over, and that's, we all be able to use it inside or outside.
Well, it'll be real good for those TAC webinars or things that we do on the conference room setup.
Yeah, it'll be set up. Plus, in here,
difficult.
we'll have two TV monitors, one that will face the audience. This one, we have it designed to face commissioners. The one that'll be on that side will face the audience, so a little bit larger monitor. So they'll be able to see the same things we're seeing and vice versa.
Auditor's office wants to know, is there a Zoom feature to be added for officials?
Brendan?
That we'd have to see. What we'd have to do is, if I'm understanding the question right, we just have to get a county Zoom account. I'm not sure if I understand that question.
What do you think that means?
I think right now we only have an account where you just get the first 30 minutes or whatever. Like when we did the budget trains.
Oh, okay.
I signed up under my county email and I got 45 minutes. I think what she's asking is if we get a county account, then it'll really not limit us to the time that we're using the app.
Correct. Yeah, well,
So just one main account.
yeah, we'd have to get an account. Then you have to have one for the call in anyway. Right. So to have both call in and video, you have to have an account. So we would have to get an account.
Well, if you're set up to where that thing really works, I suspect we'll use it quite a bit more.
Yes.
You know, it's got its limitations, the way we, have to connect, and audio being one of them. And you get to where that thing really works, I think it'll be something we'll make a lot of use of.
But, Mark, the only thing's off here is just your total number.
Well, no, yeah, it's, the total number's correct. It's just only part of the component comes from, Hudson, and that's on the Commissioner's Court area. That's the $10,433.60.
Well,
It's two different entities.
right. But see, I'm seeing the 3508 as just the makeup of not to include the furniture.
That is to include the furniture.
Well, the work tables and podium are $10,000.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
$10,433.
I couldn't
That's
see
only
it.
for those two pieces?
There's four pieces there. It's furniture that's made to match this courtroom, so
Same wood,
same wood, yeah.
same stand.
Same design, same stain, so it'll look like it belongs.
So what is the amount to be paid in Hudson Blue?
$10,433.60. And
That's the only thing that you're seeking approval for today, not all the
Yeah,
others.
well-
Hold it in there and figure out how it is.
Okay, so I have to come back for the second agenda item? Okay, that's fine.
So whatever y'all want to do about Hudson, as far as the amount, it is a lesser amount, so I'm not concerned about that. But
Okay,
we need to. we need
Clean
to
it up.
appreciate those
Okay,
plans.
that's,
Yes, sir.
no problem. That's why I asked, why I said what I said when I started, that it was not,
It's not clear.
it's not clear, so.
Okay.
Do we have a drawing mark of the layout here or the configuration of our room, how far we're coming out? The wall won't move, right?
Nothing's
The
moving.
thin wall?
Just that
Nothing's
table.
moving. Just the table's the only thing that's going away, and then we add the two staff tables and the podium with the side table for ADA purposes.
And how far does that, judging off the table there, how far will they come away from
It will
towards us?
it depends on what we find when we pull the table out. There's a tombstone or an electrical connection point in the floor. We don't know exactly where that is, so we'll want the podium to be over that electrical connection point, if at all possible. So, yeah, the Hudson component's just one component of a larger project, so I don't guess I communicated it well.
Is it going to require any re-carpeting up here, you think?
Should not, I don't think. I mean, we won't know till that table is moved.
Yeah.
We've
And
looked
then
at the plans.
What's going to happen to the furniture that's in 290 now?
Most of that, well, we'll keep most of the chairs up there, but the tables will go down to the new HR conference room when it's complete.
Okay.
So that'll function much the same way that 290 functions now. But,
Donna,
make a motion to approve the Hudson Blueprint component, and I'll put the other one back on the agenda for next week. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
3360.
So we got a mix of Hudson Blueprint and the furniture at 35, which should be 10,000.
yeah, it should be. The Hudson Blueprint component is just $10,433. The rest of it is the larger project.
Okay, so that'll be back on for next week.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Don, how long will that take to get our equipment, our furniture in? Has it just been a hit and miss?
For once, it's $1 million question.
In 3 weeks and 4 months. That's why the chair queen of Wichita County. High expectations.
This is custom, we're gonna have this thing matched, and the wood grain and everything to match this. We visited with Linda also on this, and we're gonna have a sample brought in to make sure it's exactly what we want. So I'm guessing, right now, things are taking, unfortunately, about 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Okay. What about some kind of a black finish, something so contrasting from that and doesn't have to be custom made? And I kind of want to see what we're talking about, what this does, because I conduct court in here.
Okay?
And I'm trying to picture what that's going to change.
We can draw it up to scale, with everything.
Okay.
Let us do that.
Yeah, because that's going to change the dynamics of how I do that now. And luckily that's,
It'll be more like a courtroom.
And I wonder, Judge, if you'll want to do that in the other room. Now, will it be more confined to be and seen better in the conference room?
no, I don't want to do it in the other room. Other than that, I don't have a firm opinion about that feeling. But the answer is no, that this is the courtroom. That is not the courtroom. So, okay. I think it'll work. I can either position from there, and the way we right now, if we continue to do some of these hearings the way they are, it's absolutely no problem. In fact, the two types of hearings I do in here, I don't believe it's going to be a problem. But I can't tell you what it's going to be like for the next judge in the next 5 years.
Do you do it from there, Judge, now?
Right now, I do it from right there at that end one, so I'm facing that.
But you could do it from there.
Yes.
In a realignment.
Depending on how we're set up in here to do that.
Okay, you do it from the television.
I use that television or I use a laptop. Actually, I have both ready to go.
Yeah, the cart will go away, and we'll still have the same capabilities. We can put the spot camera pretty much anywhere you want it at that point. And you can use this.
I don't believe it'll be a problem, but, you know. But if you can have that to me sometime today or tomorrow, I appreciate that. Okay, Commissioner Beecham, you made the motion. Who seconded that?
I'll second.
Did you? All right, thank you. Okay, any other comments on this? Okay, I do want to clarify that with the agenda item showed the wrong price on the quote from Hudson Blueprint was $10,433.60.
And Judge, this just for furniture.
Just for the furniture, yes.
Yes, yeah. They might have some TVs over there, but I don't think they have.
How, Mark, much time will it take, do y'all feel, to get this electronics in?
Again, depending on availability, there's some of this stuff, or most of it's available, I know, but there's a few items that's questionable in availability. So
Brennan, will it change what Nancy puts now, like a call bridge in and a number and a pin? How will we advertise that? Do you have to have the Zoom app in order to call in?
No, call in, you can still be a number and a pin.
Okay.
You can have the Zoom app, and people could come in that way as well.
Okay.
Or watch it the same way we broadcast
Okay.
for years. It's just different options.
Okay.
Before we go get any licensing for Zoom or Teams, I want to double check again, but when I asked the Office of Court Administration, what all could we use that Zoom account for? They said whatever's official business. So let's get maybe a little more in depth of that. I'll make those calls to find out because I have no idea how proud Zoom or Teams is of those more unlimited accounts. But may find out they're not a ridiculous price. So
we're still well south of 212,000.
yes,
Your ultimate goal is to make it cheaper, and it is cheap.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Donna?
This is Matthew Yelverton. Matthew is my protege. I'm getting older.
Only your hairdresser knows.
You know, not a single strand of brunette after my kilos.
Yeah.
As you all know, I've had health issues. I'm in remission, plan on staying there, but I've decided I'm not going to live forever. So I have been looking for somebody for about 3 years. I just didn't realize it could be a 6'4" university quarterback. But it is.
Okay.
Matthew will be taking my life.
Well, I met Matthew, we had lunch together at Kiwanis, so we're hoping to see him back there.
Great.
Yeah.
And Donna, that really, I never had, I know y'all didn't like it, Mark sure didn't on the original annex security desk feature, but man, y'all, that's really nice what's over there now. It really looks like it goes and fits, and I didn't think the other one was horrible, but I know y'all.
And there's people in this room that have had a lot of fun teasing me about that.
Yeah.
Gave them a lot of enjoyment.
But somebody wanted it. It's not, it found an island of misfit toys.
We had no intentions of building a county. That is not what I had designed. I sent it to the owner of the company, John, in St. Louis, and showed him what his company sent me. He gave me a full refund also. So, things happen and you just take care of problems.
Yeah, but that's why we like using you. You take care of those problems for us, and they don't become a headache.
We were a little embarrassed.
We had fun with it.
You never got a bill for it.
All right. I have a motion by Commissioner Beecham, second by Commissioner Fincannon. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. All right. Thank you all. You're welcome to stay for the exciting end of this, but
Thank you.
all right. Item 12 is receive an update on courthouse renovations, elevator projects, and county courthouse annex. Commissioner Beecham.
Well, Glenda, you want to speak on it since you're here? Sorry, I give the same report every week right now.
We're working.
Yeah, that sounds like the same.
Things are delayed. Drywall is going in downstairs on the first floor. Demolition continues on 4 and 5. The elevator, they have to build the walls up structurally from the bottom up, and then they're going to start, and they demoed some of it as they've gone up, that they'll have to do the most demo on the column that's in the elevator shaft that is a major column when they get all the way up to the 5th floor. I think they're on the 4th floor this week, so they're making their way up before they can tear it down again.
Excuse me.
See, the maintenance area, I think they're just about out of everything that the construction portion is doing. Maintenance is doing their own work now down in the maintenance area, but we're nearly finished with all of that. And then we'll still need to move up into the old rec area. There's work to be done out there. The eaves on the north wall will, I don't remember the date that they said that would be starting. It's not horrible, I don't think, in the future, though. Other than that, it's just a lot of really slow-moving construction right now. I think the judges have been great to work with. I don't think that we've had a lot of issues like we have in some projects in the past. There's been a couple of little times that they've asked them to shut down or threatened them to shut down or whatever it may be. But I think all in all that's gone fairly smooth. I think the coordination efforts between everybody have been really smooth. That's about it over here.
We
And
had,
at the annex,
the fence is gone.
the fence is down. The fence is finally down. And so they're still waiting on a pump for the sump pump in the elevator. Other than that, I think nearly everything, to my knowledge, is done at the annex. And so they got everything else finished up. So we should be getting a change order to y'all to, we're actually a little bit over, not bad, but a little bit over the contingency, but Athletic has been just holding on that until we got the job completely done, so that we only have to do one remaining change order, and so that should be coming soon, probably next week or so.
Do we need to schedule a final walk on it?
Yeah, we will schedule a punch, and we punched it once, but we
Yeah.
need to unpunch it.
Unpunch it?
And we'll have to do that.
Okay.
And Glenda, what is that on the sidewalk? It was aluminum cover. Is it the pit for the back elevator that it's, I think about it.
On
On the Sixth Street side, that big.
that's transformer
that's a
vault, that's
transformer
Encore.
vault.
That's electricity down
Yeah.
in a room of some sort?
Yeah, that's the transformer.
Is that
for the
how you
building.
get down in there? You raise the grate off and go
Yeah.
in that?
Been in there a few times.
Wow.
We did have a little hiccup Friday morning. Demolition crew knocked over a 5-gallon bucket of water, and it poured down through different cracks and crevices and took part of the ceiling out of the 30th District Court. Thanks to Rick's crew's quick action, we were able to get them up and operational, and they never missed a beat. So they were up and functioning by 8:30 Friday morning. So thank you for a quick response on that. Yeah, my phone was buzzing at 7:15, and so
Construction on a existing building is difficult. Construction on an existing building that is fully occupied is truly a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so I think all things considered, it's
Boy.
actually running fairly smooth.
with the exception of demolition, everything is going well. Demolition, we're running into a lot of hiccups. They brought in a, for lack of a better term, robot machine this week, or last week. It's my understanding that that robot's not functioning how they intended, so I don't know what the next step is, because they're having.
But it hadn't been, I mean, as far as here goes, I mean, I don't see them. I guess they are going in and out the back door?
They're going in and out the back door, they're doing a lot of nights and weekends work. They're trying to stay out of the function of courthouse way as much as possible. There are workers that are coming and going from the back. Like when I came in, I went around, there's probably a dozen workers down there on the first floor.
Right.
So you really don't see them very much. But like I said, all things considered, it's actually running pretty smooth.
Yeah. With the exception of demolition, I will say that everything's going pretty smooth. We just don't know where that demolition's going to head next, because their solutions aren't working at this point, so.
Over at the annex this morning, it does not look like to me that on Scott Street side, they marked that handicap slot.
I don't believe any of the pavement markings have been done yet.
No, okay. And so I was just curious, because there were.
No, I think that's one of the outstanding items still on the punch list, so.
Yeah, and Sheriff, we keep one of your vehicles over there regularly, because they get a number of customers. Should we have a place marked that says police parking only, and maybe not take those at the front door, but around the corner?
It'd be good to have cars, they need cars, they need pretty close to them.
Yeah, and probably they're closer to those doors, and if they have somebody, they take them out the back door, because,
That front door screening, so
yeah, but, you know, that's,
one of those out of
put them on 6th Street side and mark it near that, if we could have that designated that way. That might
the,
help.
park around the front side just for.
And the 2 constable vehicles, this morning I'm going to talk to a constable about that, even though they intend just to run in and get papers. Nobody ever just runs in, it always something. So, and that's our customer parking there. So,
If you realize that around the courthouse, is the way to, the employees that park all the way around the curving.
well, not all of them, because some of them park in the east lot.
I'm working on an agenda item. I've got on all the parking here at the courthouse. I've got, part of it will be coming next week, so.
That's the same people for years.
Mhm.
You know, and I understand, this parking lot across the street, they want to walk the weather and heat and rain. But the regular people coming down the courthouse to see them I mean, you don't have to just lay down, you don't
Yeah.
have to just park and everything. Park in the yard if you want to. That's why they had to, they got up, they're parking. It's all they've been parking this year.
Well, I've looked into some different electronic means for that. So,
Well, you should have a parking lot cap and then go.
yeah.
Have tags for everybody's car, and have a top left back window.
Yeah.
Especially everybody actually get a ticket.
Who was the parking lot cat?
Ken Williams.
Yeah. What, however,
Toe-to-toe with anybody.
Well, yeah, but then that put the JPs, and when they issued a county ticket, the court costs are much higher than a city parking ticket. And everybody was like, when it costs you $87.50 for court costs before you start paying the fine, it's pretty steep. And so, yeah. All right, anything else on the item number 12?
No, sir.
All right. Nancy, or no, Tanya, we've got TCDRS program in here at 1 o'clock. So,
Very key individual that's they're ready to set up for anybody else that wants to do Zoom or by phone.
okay. All right, very good.